GIPF makes money that goes back into a fund. It's profitable for GIPF, and therefore the kind of funding for this project is therefore sustainable for GIPF too. So we have an absolute win-win in this kind of a project.
International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Maggie Forciero. In the news tonight, Namibia introduces new national ID cards. Ex-plant fighters claim to be owed millions by Foreign Affairs Ministry. UNAM and the NCS sign 5-year training development agreement. Farmers respond positively to Agribank poultry training. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. A quick response code and machine-readable zone are just some of the new features added to the newly launched identity documents by the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security and the Head of State, joining Namibia to other African countries, namely Ghana, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Malawi and Uganda, who have adopted the same principle.
Home Affairs Minister Albert Kawana stressed the strengthening of home affairs systems, noting that the change will come at no additional cost for the ministry, as well as members of the public migrating from the old fingerprinted IDs.
The additional features will be printed by the ministry right here in Windhoek. The printing of our new look ID cards does not involve the use of ink. Instead, leather engraving will be used. We came from the older IDs issued according to tribal setups, to SA IDs, to SWA IDs, to the current Namibian IDs, and now the new look IDs. Those applying for duplicates and the new IDs will be issued with the new look IDs from today, after His Excellency the President has launched. New ID applications will be issued without charge, meaning they will be free. However, duplicates will be charged for in order to encourage our citizens to take care of their ID cards. The new look ID will be more secure as the QRC and MRC will contain elements that will be read by a machine and they are not easy to forge. Likewise, with these new features, we can engage neighboring countries to consider using the ID cards as travel documents. The ID cards are compatible with the specifications of the International Civil Aviation Organization. The world is moving towards electronic innovation. I am happy to say that Africa is also moving with the world. The benefits will be a ripple effect for other industries. Financial crimes will reduce. Social grants will be issued only to those who are verified to be alive. Ghost employees will be a thing of the past. Banks, insurance companies, and other financial institutions will operate with ease because financial fraud will be minimized. The biometric system will replace the outdated fingerprint system, which requires paper and ink, another unnecessary cost.
Launching the new document, the head of state notes that the new IDs will allow for free movement of people, a key element for African unity.
You see the flags there. You have the AU and Namibian flag. Now we are going to launch now ID to identify us as Namibians. But hope will be that I can use this ID to cross over to Botswana. We talk about unity, African unity one day, that we can have one continent, one identity. But we are still divided. And this is the beginning that we have an ID that will allow free movement of people. That's a key element of African unity. That people must move freely. People have goods. If you cannot move freely, how can you say we are forming that movement of unity of Africa? So that's why today is a very important day. It's a first baby step that we are taking to launch the new IDs, improve one of the security aspects. Minister, Line Minister, thank you, but I'm with great pleasure and privilege to launch these new, improved, modern, high-tech IDs.
The 2016 Namibia Intercensal Demographic Survey shows that 87.8% of the population had Namibian birth certificates and 82.9% of the eligible population group aged 16 and above were in possession of identity documents.
Hi there, parents. Do you have primary school kids and want them to get extra quality supplementary lessons to up their grades? Then simply switch to One Africa TV's #LearnOn1, where your kids can get maths, English and science lessons every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. And thanks to Animators My Zone, these lessons are 100% Namibian. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
After a hard year, we've got the Christmas you deserve with incredible savings. Like Vaseline body lotion or cream for just $31.99 and Lifebuoy soap. Buy any 3 for only $27. Plus, every day, we're giving Lucky Spa Rewards customers their shopping for free. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spa.
Hi, welcome to the program. I'm Debula. So let's get on the road with this. Having someone who likes what you like can be great. It gives you something to chat about and share with each other, yeah? But what if you both want to be at the very top of what you're doing and your main rival is your brother? Can you imagine?
Mount Nyiragongo, located in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. It's found in the Virunga Mountains and located 6 miles from Goma. So what caused Mount Nyiragongo to erupt?
This is Women in African Music virtual exhibition. It was created by the British-Nigerian documentary photographer Michael Tubes.
Women in African Music exhibition is about celebrating women behind the scene and women performing on the stage.
Nothing is too good for my daughter. Now here's the deal, Nambi. There's no playing around with other boys before your wedding. Do you understand me? It's the most important day of your life.
Nambi, baby, you have a face like a beautiful person. I got you this Virgin Mary necklace to protect your innocence.
Stupid man. We have loved each other since high school, and now you want to turn your back on me? All the plans we made, you just throw them away? And you want Nambi now? When I've always been there for Iziwa, do you understand? And she doesn't even love you. I've wasted my time on someone like you.
Don't be like that, Jalia.
Love, everybody needs it. Love.
Ex-plant fighters are requesting a letter from the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, that states whether or not the SWAPO government received millions of US dollars from the United Nations. They say the money is for the reconciliation, rehabilitation and resettlement of the ex-plant fighters.
The ex-plant fighters say the Foreign Affairs Ministry owes them an amount of more than $2 million US. They urged the minister to state in writing whether or not these claims are factual.
We need the letter. Why should a letter take it so wrong? Yeah? What's the problem? We are now the enemy for you when we are coming here in Namibia. We are together in exile. Now we are coming here, you see us the enemy. We are not enemy.
In October 2021, Nandi-Ndaitwah allegedly wrote to the ex-plant fighters saying Namibia was ungoverned at the time. The chairperson finds that hard to believe.
Did you receive SWAP of Namibia in 1989? Did you receive that money for the hepatitis for the regime? Because that time there was no government. That time we was not government. According to the data which we were waiting on 13th of October, we said that time was the government. We need that data soon as possible so that we can back to the United Nations High Commission so that they can give the answer to us.
A representative of the ministry signed the petition on behalf of the minister, vowing that it will land in the relevant office.
Honorable Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, is out of the country on official duty, and he was unable to receive the petition today. I've received the petition. I've heard the messages from the two members of your group, and I will ensure that the petition reaches the minister when she returns.
The protesters did not seem impressed by the response.
She is the person who's supposed to answer us straight away, as she is also working in the Ministry of the International and Relations. So we cannot just always come here, stand here, listen to always one word, and we go back.
The protesters demand that the minister gives a final and clear response before the end of November. They threaten to take the matter to the International Criminal Court if the minister fails to meet their demands.
Offenders and staff of the Namibian Correctional Service will now be able to receive training at the University of Namibia in different fields of agriculture, research and publications, just to mention a few. This is aimed at rehabilitating offenders who have committed minor crimes and those who still have a chance to contribute to the country's economy when released from prison.
We are also in the field of agriculture. And what we work towards is to ensure sustainability. And as you may know, we have been testing a number of crops in a number of areas, especially subjecting them to different climatic changes and see how they perform under stress. And we can then give those varieties to the correctional services at their farms for implementation. But we are also very interested in researching those who have been sentenced for different kinds of crimes. And we want to understand the circumstances under which those crimes have been committed, especially from a forensic psychology point of view, and coming up with preventive programs that would be shared with different communities, but also for the services for the purposes of rehabilitation of those that are serving their sentences. We also know that the correctional services have competency in maintenance of different sort of furnitures, carpentry, in mechanics, and so on. And as an institution that has engineering at heart, we would be very interested in looking at what sort of product development activities can be done.
The NCS Commissioner General says this initiative will plough back to communities as it will benefit both institutions.
The memorandum of understanding is to share resources like expertise, where we want our officers and offenders to benefit on the training being offered by the University of Namibia, and also to share resources in the area of agriculture. As you know, the Namibian Correctional Service is investing in agriculture to train inmates, to make them ready to be able to go and produce their own food upon release, and also to be food self-sufficient, to feed the inmates from their own production. Hence, that is the reason we are collaborating with the university, which is having almost all resources, doing research and having everything available. And we know we will go and benefit from the agreement.
The 5-year agreement will highly benefit beneficiaries in being part of a growing economy and employment opportunities, especially in the fields of agriculture and research.
With trusted quality and great value on all Clicks brand products, switch and save. Buy Clicks Revive and Hygiene Soap, $12.99 each. Buy Clicks Hydrate Body Lotion, $45.99 each. And buy any 3 Clicks toothbrushes, cheapest one free. Or buy Clicks Expert 70% alcohol hand sanitizer from $17.99 each. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
Early this morning, woke up holding my head, hearing my heartbeat all night long. Shades of this motel keeping me in bed, reading the news, just trying to stay strong. I need to just get up and take a deep breath, keep it together, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Sun on my face, feeling okay. Don't let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Feeling so proud, screaming out loud. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful.
insight and analysis. The Football Review is much more than a highlights show. Bold, provocative editorial that goes beyond conventional reporting, setting the agenda for football discussion. Champions League, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga 1, and much more. Want genuine insight with hard-hitting editorial? Need compelling premium football content? The Football Review. Best, bar none.
Farming plays a very important role to farmers in rural areas who depend on subsistence farming. Agribank recently conducted free poultry farming training for farmers in Katima Mulilo in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform.
And what I learned today is quite impressive. We learned about poultry, caring, and sort of feeding requirements. So there are 2 or 3 types of chickens that we learned today: the broilers, the layers, and the common traditional chickens, and the benefits that as farmers we can get from this type of agribusiness.
What I can say to Agribank, I think this is an eye-opener. They have done a very good job for us because we were just sitting there idle without doing anything, or we were just keeping these chickens just for the sake that maybe we are keeping the chickens just to feed our families. But today, you know, this workshop is free, and I thank Agribank because we have learned a lot that we can use these chickens that we have.
Small-scale farmers were trained on how to raise poultry, produce eggs and meat, and also how to start and manage a poultry business.
My purpose of visiting Zambezi region is to have a training on poultry production with small-scale farmers and share crucial information that will shed light on production and how they can easily have access to markets.
Thousands of farmers countrywide have benefited from training and mentorship interventions by Agribank. They are aimed at skill and knowledge transfer as well as changing attitudes towards farming as a business, while also promoting relationships between clients and the bank.
Abandonment issues.
Is moontlik.
Al ons moeite met die sprokies. Ek probeer so hard om my kind gelukkig te maak, maar ek kry dit nie reg nie.
Probeer net help, dis al.
Jy doen niks sonder bymotiewe nie.
So jy hou van die tattoo?
Nee. Maar jy kan nie liefde koop nie. En beslis nie myne nie.
Jy regular.
Am I that predictable?
Jy is 'n gereelde klant en ons net so 'n manier om koffie te drink.
How do you like your coffee?
Gewoonlik swart sonder suiker.
Does black and bitter only pertain to your coffee preference?
Ek hou maar net van my koffie sonder melk. Hoe gaan dit 'n bal raak slaan na 2 glase wyn?
That was part of my plan.
Wat? Om 'n tipsie te maak sodat jy kan wen.
I'm terrible at papa.
God said. It's interesting to see if we have a look at John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In other words, what I see drives me to go out what I say. And I believe this is the goal of our Bible school, to teach me to see. And I dare to say what you see must change your heart. Because you cannot move out if you don't have a changed heart. By the word of God, everything is created. God wants you to speak the word so that things can be created. Say to your neighbor, created.
Anything, he should be everything. Strength provider, the architect of every ring. Experienced 10 years, see the face of God and live.
I pray to God for my enemy. Insta baby, Insta baby. What your mama gave ya. Everybody move what your mama gave ya. Everybody shake what your mama gave ya. Everybody move, yeah, lost, fuck.
You are now watching the V10 Countdown.
In other leading stories, there was excitement, hope and enthusiasm as the Brighter Day campaign kicked off in Rehoboth and Marienthal on Wednesday, reaching over 300 learners and teachers from various schools around the towns. The initiative was launched in partnership with volunteer counselors and in support of the Ministry of Education's efforts to tackle emotional challenges, promote mental wellness amongst learners and teachers, help them cope with post-COVID-19 and adjust to life back in school. Initiator and lead counselor of the Brighter Day campaign, Anthony Auchab, said the reception at all the engagements so far was very warm and the objectives of the initiative are seen as very important and relevant by both learners and teachers. According to Auchab, addressing the emotional well-being and needs of both students and teachers is an ongoing process that needs as much support on a continuous basis, and it should be a constant dialogue. Over the next month and the coming year, the Brighter Day initiative will be rolled out to several schools across the 14 regions of the country. And FNB Namibia, through the First Rand Namibia Foundation, has been a proud sponsor of the Down Syndrome Association of Namibia for several years and has joined the association once again in celebrating the 2021 Namibia Down Syndrome Day, which took place in the form of a pop-in festival celebration. The first Rand Namibia Foundation supported the association with an amount of 150,000 Namibia dollars in 2020, and these funds are dedicated towards education, awareness and training on Down syndrome with the aim to bring about the change in the lives of the parents, family members, teachers and the community. World Down Syndrome Day is dedicated towards raising awareness about Down syndrome and celebrating individuals around the world who have Down syndrome. The day is celebrated in the third week of October, which is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, also recognized worldwide as a month of advocacy on Down syndrome.
Are you a CMAS member? Did you know that should you need medical treatment, you have access to quality private hospitalization, guaranteed specialist treatment in private hospitals across Namibia with Complement Gap? Complement Gap is a complimentary product for CMAS members only, which covers the shortfall between what CMAS pays and private hospitals charge. You and your family have more than 2 million in medical gap cover per year at a very affordable price. That's not all. You also have access to emergency evacuation within Namibia and $10 million international travel cover for those unforeseen events abroad. Take the financial burden off your shoulders. Invest in your family's health. SMS GAP to 999 555 and we'll contact you. Terms and conditions apply.
It was the silence that connected us all. But the journey started long before that day.
Coach has a gift to be able to spot talent a mile away.
I think the family kind of feeling makes the athletes feel like they want to perform for him.
This is a match made in heaven. We just become one. There was difficult times. I said to the girls, we didn't do all this just for one bump to take us off track. We started talking about this journey, and the way we actually painted that journey is almost perfectly the way it ended.
We thought that maybe one of them will make the finals, both of them made the finals, then the rest is history.
Quiet broken by the firing of the gun, and they're off.
And here comes Christine Bommer in second place. Will they do it today? Oh, of course! 21-81.
This one belongs to us all as one.
Oranjemund, established in 1936, from which point onwards CDM, now Namdeb Diamond Corporation, provided every service, the schooling, infrastructure and entertainment required for the people of the town. The winds of change is blowing over Oranjemund, which is no longer a closed town.
This ship was commandeered by King Charles III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India.
When we were kids, the mine delivered milk, bread, and black paper, black plastic bags for your rubbish, and cleaned your garden, did the maintenance of your house. You had furniture already installed in your house.
Joseph Shufeni is standing by for this evening's edition of Business on One.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. I'm Joseph Shufeni. Namibia's youth unemployment rate has reached a staggering figure of 50% this year. This challenge, combined with inequality and the ever-growing poverty levels, has led young people to turn to the proposed basic income grant by civil society organizations, as they believe that it will enable them to become economically active.
Led by the Basic Income Grant Coalition of Namibia, youth from Esfai's, Oshivelo and Obitara, where the BIG has made a difference, were present at a gathering in Achterland, Ochomuise, where young speakers spoke out against the looting of public funds at the expense of the poorest of the poor in the community.
The youth of Namibia are cheated out of promising futures for growth and opportunities, as we see how the ongoing revelations of the Fish Road saga show the depth and the greed of these misleaders in government and parasticials. They continue to show the youth of Namibia the middle finger, while they still lie to us about one Namibia, one nation, which has become a meaningless slogan. We, the youth of Namibia, are particularly saddened how these misleaders have lied to the majority of youth that we, the future of Namibia, while they do nothing to solve our depressing youth unemployment rate of 50.3, which is caused by the systemic thievery of natural wealth intended to benefit the very same youth and all Namibians.
We, the youth, see and now know that our misleaders have intentionally kept us in the enforced state of poverty since independence by lying, robbing us and killing us, the potential of Namibian youth. To mention a few but significant publicly known stolen resources within the past 5 years, NDF, August 26, 300 million, Fish Road 1 billion, SSC 30 million, GIPF 600 million, SME Bank 200 million, and we go on, the list go on.
Another youth, Kevin Vessels, believes that the government has the financial means to implement the BIG as a long-term social protection intervention to address poverty and provide a decent life for all citizens.
There's no going two ways about it. The statistics show that which they mentioned now, the money that has been stolen, is just the tip of the iceberg. If you count all the money that has been stolen from 1990 up to now, every year, if we count how many Namibians 19 years to 59 years need the BIG, that's about $4 billion of the national budget. That's 5.5%. It's nothing for the government. And that means every Namibian can get a $500 every month. That's $6,000 every year. We speak about, Honorable Agnes said, the youth must create opportunities for themselves. How is the youth going to create opportunities for themselves if they do not have the capital? How?
Herbert Jauch, the chairperson for the Economic and Social Justice Trust, says the coalition had hope for the BIG when the current president, Geingob, came to power and promised to eradicate poverty.
And 6 years ago, it finally looked like we would get a basic income grant in Namibia. When the current president took over and appointed the chairperson of the coalition, Bishop Kameta, as Minister of Poverty Eradication. Since then, unfortunately, our government has backpedaled. We're now in a deep economic crisis. Now they say there is no money for a basic income grant. But this is not an excuse. This we cannot accept.
A social safety net of this magnitude, if implemented, is estimated to benefit nearly 1 million Namibians at a cost of less than $5 billion annually. Earlier this year, in August, when asked on the matter, the head of state cautioned against the introduction of the grant under its current principle of equal distribution, whether for the rich or poor.
People are unemployed. People are living around eating in the garbage. What are we doing about those things? Nothing. We are here talking while the rich people are getting rich and the poor people are getting more poor and poor. So this basic income grant can help the people.
And that is all we have for you. Do follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
After a hard year, we've got the Christmas you deserve with incredible savings. Like Sunlight dishwashing liquid refill for only $20.99 and 1 litre Spa 100% fruit juice for just $15.99. Plus, every day, we're giving Lucky Spa Rewards customers their shopping for free. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spa.
Mpaka tuyadha otuli pamwe nangoe mompombo ya mainyanyudho ote ea mukuru okuzangenea totere mombo oma obigari upeigiari omrunga radio ogwakala no kukundaneka okunyanyudha no kuyakuroshiwane omrunga radio yotango monamibia.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The Public Service Union of Namibia has described the ongoing talks between government and the civil servant representatives as mock negotiations, as it does not provide for salary increments in the national budget. The union also called on trade organizations that are currently at the negotiating table to step aside, as they have not been effective in their role as bargaining bodies. Peter says he agrees with the union as nothing has been done so far. Bonita says something needs to be done about the salaries for cleaners, as they earn a small salary. Ellie wants to know on whose side the union is, adding that workers are suffering under unions. Jonas says no increment, no examinations, saying he is tired, urging for the downing of tools. While Edmund says they should go on strike until MPs' salaries are cut. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on One.
I would just love to say thank you to One Africa TV for creating an environment for creatives such as myself to grow our art and find ourselves in the world of TV production and film production as well. Happy 18th birthday.
Time now for today's sports update with Castro Ulumbu.
Welcome to Sports on One. I'm your host Castro Ulumbu. Following their fairy tale 2021 ICC T20 World Cup tournament in the United Arab Emirates, Cricket Namibia was recently informed by the International Cricket Council that they will co-host the 2027 ICC Cricket World Cup alongside neighbors South Africa and Zimbabwe. Today on One Sports has more on this story.
Confirming the exciting news today, Cricket Namibia CEO Johan Muller, in an interview with Today on One Sports Desk, welcomed the gesture from neighbors South Africa, who allowed Namibia to co-host the World Showpiece, stating that this event will allow for tourism and economic growth in the country.
The news of hosting a World Cup, I mean, can you believe that for a country like Namibia, World Cups, you need quite a number of infrastructure, and that is why us as a Namibian country on its own can never apply to host an event of that magnitude. Cricket is the second biggest sporting code in the world, with World Cups every second year and 50-over World Cups every fourth year. It also attracts fans and spectators from more than 200 countries worldwide. So quite a number of, first of all, spectators that is coming to watch their team playing at that specific venue. But besides that, it also attracts the spectators that will come in for the World Cup in South Africa. Because they won't just attend the World Cup match, they will also do some touring, some tourism, and if we market and positioning ourselves correct in Namibia, we will attract that spectator as well. What it also does, besides tourism, is your advertisement, your marketing of your country, which also then attracts further future income is enormous, but it also stimulates your economic growth through full employment. So if there's more tourism coming into your country, there's more employment, the people that come into your country spend money, they stay in hotels, they book transport. There's quite a number of small and medium enterprises that will benefit from a tournament like this.
Despite getting the nod to host this massive tournament, Mela admitted that infrastructure is one of the challenges heading into the 2027 Games. According to him, consultations between the city of Windhoek have been held before the announcement but proved futile. He, however, guaranteed to revisit the discussions. Even though Namibia had an exceptional tournament in Dubai at the ICC World Cup, Mela believes their performance during the tournament did not influence the announcement from the International Cricket Council.
We started this application process already 6 months ago, and we submitted 2.5 months ago to ICC. Which they now went through the review process. We do believe that as an organization, that the one success of the one side of the organization contributes to the other. So the better we organize our administrators and our local programs, the better our national team does, and vice versa. So we know it didn't have an influence, but overall good news will take any day. Our main challenge is we are one of the biggest national federations within Namibia, with one of the biggest attractions in terms of sport. We bring in between 4 and 6 international tournaments into our country per year, and we don't have our own national facility. It's a major concern for us. It's an issue that we've been addressing with City of Windhoek now for the last year. Unfortunately, the communication has just died down from their side, and it's a conversation we need to restart and revisit now that this news has come in, because there's major benefits for a city like Windhoek in a World Cup like this. So we've got a lot of work to do to make sure our infrastructure is up to date. We do have some club facilities that is of fairly high level, and our plan B is, if we cannot develop our own in the 5 years, is to build up the club structure so that we are able to host.
The Cricket Namibia CEO further expressed gratitude towards the Namibian nation for the support they have given to cricket in the country.
And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again tomorrow for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks a lot, Castro. Time now for the weather forecast.
And now for the weather forecast. The interior will be sunny and warm to hot in the south. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and hot to very hot, with a few to isolated thunder showers in the northeast. A fresh to strong westerly wind in the interior. And the coast will be partly cloudy and cool. Dust storms are most likely over the southern coastal areas at times. Wind will be moderate to strong southerly to southwesterly.
That is all we have for you. Do join us again for a repeat at 9:30, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and Saturdays from 9 to 2 for the Omnibus. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team, till next time, it's good night.
the International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Omba Arts Trust is not just an organization for me. I think of it in the form of a person, a mother and a friend I have walked and grew with. A friend whom I've traveled many remote and dusty roads. A sister who provided so much needed support during times of fear and uncertainty. There is a saying in Damara for people such as Omba, which is which simply means someone who will, with love, exchange your lean piece of meat with their fat one. It might sound simple when translated, but when used towards a loved and appreciated person, it gives such honor. It describes a person who will do everything to make sure you are taken care of. Besides, we all know how the Damaras love their meat.
Sitsi Maria, good. Jy het 'n bietjie meer reg gewees, né? Soos die boere hulle mielies plant. Ja.
I have seen Omba grow and turn into a light of hope for Namibians all over Namibia. I have seen women and men grow as individuals, becoming respected members of their communities, but also valuable providers of their families. I have seen people with no hope in their eyes light up when they see Omba arrive to fulfill a promise which was made and which they did not believe will be kept. I have seen women dance and sing for hours until the dust from their feet covers us all because the old friend has arrived. I've seen women standing up in front of a large number of people and express their hopes and dreams. I've seen people who have never left their village travel hours and hours to other countries and share their culture and experiences. I have seen children grow and become young women and men before my very eyes. Omba has been the sister holding hands throughout it all. Omba has built valuable and strong relationship with communities, empowering both women and men, but the impact on women can be seen and felt most sincerely. The work with the women has such a ripple effect all over the whole village. most especially the young. Omba has taught them to fish. As times grow tougher and much more difficult, money becomes scarce. Environment around us changes and nothing will ever be the same again. In times like this is when we realize the value of a friend like Omba. It provides hope, constant support, reliable income, and keeping us all together, keeping our pots filled and our fires burning. A motivation to do better, live better, and expect better. If one day the unthinkable happens and Omba is no more, it will be a sad time for our Namibian rural population. Therefore, let's keep the light burning at all cost.
Ons die Sanmense is die eerste mense in die wêreld wat vandag agter gaan staan. Omba is nou die water wat vir ons nat maak, dat onze wortels mooi groeien, dat ons vruchten kan brengen, kos kan brengen. Omba gee vir ons werk en van daaraf lewe ons.
It's just an amazing story that ostrich eggshell beads, 72,000 years ago, the ancestors of the San were making ostrich eggshell beads, and today in the 2020s, Junko women are still making those beads pretty much in the same way. And the work has evolved from fairly traditional products. This probably would have been worn like this, into something as sophisticated and contemporary as this necklace from the waterfall range. So here we are bringing the necklace to this gallery in Windhoek, and it then gets sold to customers in Europe, in America, and generating income for women, Junko women back in the Kalahari. So it's just an amazing thread of history that goes to this ostrich egg, to this contemporary jewelry. This basket I absolutely love. It's a finely woven basket in natural dyes. This asymmetry is very unique to Namibian baskets, and we've been working with these women, doing workshops and helping them evolve into these incredibly fine baskets. We've worked with the women developing different palettes, and there's another one with a slightly more yellow palette, but considered are the best baskets in Africa. What we're showing you in this short video is really a long journey of working together with rural communities, reviving ancient traditions, turning them into contemporary world-class products, and supporting the livelihoods of over 400 artisans. Even during COVID-19, we've been helping our sand communities with food and distribution of tippy taps. What we need to do now is to honour the trust that has been put in us over the last 30 years, to support marginalised sand communities and the livelihoods of rural women around Namibia. Your donation will help us get our 400 artisans back to work as soon as possible so that they can feed their families. The lives of their 2,000 family members will directly benefit from this. Please help us raise $50,000 by contributing to the Omba Artisan C19 Support Fund. No matter how big or small, this will make a difference in the lives of our artisans during COVID-19. Thank you.